Imagine a world where cities are submerged underwater and former oceans become barren wastelands. In this scenario, all water and land have abruptly swapped places. Cities like New York and Paris would be underwater, with tsunamis devastating everything. People on boats would plummet into dry ocean beds. The Amazon rainforest would be flooded, reviving ancient diseases. Which animals and plants would thrive? Could humans survive? And what would our new Earth look like? Hello and welcome to Z. Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. This is What If, exploring what would happen if water and land suddenly switched places. One major change would be significant climate shifts due to altered weather patterns and ocean currents. This rapid transformation would leave us unprepared. If we had advance warning, could we prevent it? Currently, climate change is causing sea levels to rise, threatening cities like London and Bangkok within decades. With forewarning, you'd expect proactive measures, but many people remain skeptical until faced with extreme situations. However, there are those eager to help but unsure how. Introducing Solar Slice, a startup simplifying climate action. Solar Slice enables you to fund large-scale solar farms. Their app lets you track energy production and carbon savings and earn rewards to support other initiatives. Here's how it works. Sponsor a slice of their solar farm, adding 50 watts of clean energy to the grid and cutting emissions. Use their app to monitor your impact with real-time data. Earn eco points as your slices generate energy, which you can use to buy more slices, plant trees, or support other causes. You can also share your progress, create group initiatives, or give solar slices as gifts. Visit solarslice.com to learn more and find a link to their Kickstarter campaign, which funds their first solar farm and app development. Solar Slice offers a chance to prevent cities from being submerged by rising seas, unlike the people in our story. If water and land switched places, it would trigger a mass extinction. Cities and towns would be underwater, with water covering 21% of the globe and land covering 79%. We'd have new oceans, the North American Ocean, South American Ocean, and the European, African, and Asian oceans connected by narrow channels. People might seek refuge in skyscrapers, hoping for the waters to recede, but they never would. Those outside on dry land and unable to swim would drown immediately. Those living far from water would be trapped unless they had a boat. Coastal residents, like those in New York, might fare better. The Hudson River would be dry, and they could venture into the riverbed. Marine life would perish quickly. Fish left gasping for air would die, and dried-up oceans would be filled with dead marine animals. No more whales, sharks, or fish means no more sushi. However, exploring ocean floors could be fascinating, revealing new species that are now dead. Forest animals would suffer. Big cats might climb trees, sharing space with apes, while zebras and giraffes would drown. Some land animals would survive, altering ecosystems drastically. Reptiles and insects would thrive. Crocodiles, turtles, and alligators, accustomed to living on both water and land, would adapt easily. Insects would flourish on dead matter, leading to disease outbreaks like malaria. The lack of electricity would be a major problem. Submerged power plants would be irreparable, leaving us without energy. You'd realize your dependence on electricity. No flushing toilets, no TV, no internet. Many would perish, but some coastal dwellers might survive. Rebuilding civilization would be challenging. We'd have to start from scratch, using materials like trash, estimated at 5 trillion pieces in oceans, to construct homes. Most land plants would die, leading to a lack of fresh produce and an increase in scurvy. However, we'd have abundant dead fish, which could be preserved by drying and salting. Fresh water would be scarce, making survival tough. Climate change would be a medium-term challenge, with reduced ocean area leading to higher temperatures. Oceans currently moderate temperature by absorbing heat and carbon dioxide, but with only 21% coverage, the Earth would heat up. Less water surface means less rainfall, creating desert-like conditions. If humans survive, we'd adapt by becoming insect and reptile eaters, but hunting crocodiles would be difficult without our usual weapons. Smaller reptiles might be hunted to extinction, while larger ones would retreat into new oceans. Smaller surviving species would thrive with less food, evolving over time as food sources are reestablished. Birds might nest in skyscrapers with trees gone. With plankton and land plants destroyed, oxygen levels would drop. causing species to evolve with larger red blood cells, bigger lungs, or smaller bodies. Insect sizes would decrease due to lower oxygen. Imagine a world where water and land suddenly switched places. This dramatic shift would transform the planet's landscape, ecosystems, and human civilization. The consequences would be profound, impacting every aspect of life on Earth. Let's explore the potential effects on the environment, human society, and the overall balance of nature. Environmental impact, ocean ecosystems on land. With the ocean waters covering the land, marine ecosystems would face an unprecedented crisis. Coral reefs, fish, and other marine life adapted to the depths of the ocean would find themselves exposed to the atmosphere. The sudden exposure to air would cause massive die-offs, as marine organisms are unable to survive outside their aquatic environments. Coral reefs, essential for marine biodiversity, would bleach and crumble, leading to the loss of habitats for countless species. Terrestrial ecosystems, underwater. Conversely, terrestrial ecosystems would be submerged, disrupting the balance of life on land. Forests, grasslands, and deserts would be drowned, resulting in the extinction of many plant and animal species unable to adapt to aquatic life. Trees and plants would rot underwater, releasing significant amounts of carbon dioxide and methane, potent greenhouse gases, exacerbating climate change. Human civilization, urban and rural areas submerged. Human infrastructure would be obliterated. Cities, towns, and villages, now lying at the bottom of the new ocean, would be abandoned. Skyscrapers, roads, and bridges would be submerged, rendering them unusable. Coastal regions, where a significant portion of the world's population resides, would be the most affected. People would be forced to relocate to higher ground, leading to massive displacement and a humanitarian crisis. Agricultural disruption. Agriculture, the backbone of human civilization, would be devastated. Fertile lands that produce food would be underwater, making traditional farming impossible. The loss of arable land would lead to food shortages and potential famine. Aquaculture might become more prevalent, but it would take time to develop sustainable practices to replace traditional agriculture. Economic collapse. The global economy would face unprecedented challenges. Trade routes would be disrupted as ports and shipping lanes are submerged. Industries reliant on terrestrial resources would struggle to adapt, leading to economic instability. Insurance companies would be overwhelmed by claims, potentially collapsing financial markets. Governments would need to invest heavily in new infrastructure and adaptation strategies, straining public finances. Climate and weather patterns, altered climate systems. The redistribution of land and water would dramatically alter the Earth's climate systems. Ocean currents, which regulate global temperatures, would be disrupted, potentially leading to extreme weather conditions. The redistribution of heat could result in more intense storms, altered precipitation patterns, and shifts in climate zones. Regions that were once temperate might become arid, while others could experience increased rainfall and flooding. Sea level and temperature changes. The sudden exposure of the ocean floor would lead to changes in sea levels and water temperatures. Newly exposed land masses would absorb heat differently than the ocean, affecting global temperature regulation. The new ocean areas could experience rapid warming or cooling, further impacting marine life and climate stability. Societal and cultural changes. Migration and urban planning. Mass migrations would become a necessity as people seek habitable areas. New cities would need to be built on the former ocean floor, posing engineering and logistical challenges. Societies would need to adapt to new environments, learning to live in regions previously submerged. Cultural adaptation. Cultural identities tied to specific landscapes would be profoundly affected. Coastal communities with rich maritime traditions would need to adapt to inland living. Indigenous cultures connected to specific landforms might lose significant aspects of their heritage. Conversely, new cultural practices and traditions would emerge in response to the changed environment.